Hi, mystery readers. Welcome to Write a Killer Mystery. I'm Sarah Altair. Today we're going to be talking about microtension. Create reader questions on every novel page. I'm going to show you how to do this with words. All right. First, I want to thank my supporters on Patreon. And if you like this series, Write a Killer Mystery, I encourage you to join us on Patreon, and the link is in the description below. Okay, so let's talk about microtension. What is it, how it works, and what you can do to get your reader asking, "What now?" on every page. You can create microtension in every page, in every scene. It's the trigger that makes your reader turn the page to keep reading. You give your reader something they weren't expecting, and you do it over and over again on every page. Every page has one little surprise. And that's what makes your reader ask, "What now?" In your first draft, you create the plot points and action and the drama. But your second draft is the perfect time to add in those brief moments that add tension on every page. You are down to the micro moments of your story. So how do you create microtension? You create microtension with juxtaposition. You put unmatched things like ideas and actions and dialogue and words together. And those little jars make your reader wonder, all right? For example, your character may picnic on a sunny day, but the words you use imply a dark mood, where words like aim and shadow and edge and grasp. And so your reader's like, okay, so what's happening? It's a sunny day, it's a picnic, but this feeling is edgy, all right? So by using juxtaposition, you set up your reader to wonder why the description and the mood do not match. And that's the kind of juxtaposition you want, that little emotional tension. So your character may hide something, or they may hide something from themselves that makes the reader wonder. Microtension does not raise questions about the plot, the big story. It raises questions about that moment in the scene. And the best way to create microtension is to create conflicting emotions for your reader. So unlike fight scenes or big arguments that are high points in your plot, you can place conflicting emotions anywhere, almost anywhere in your scene, and that's because each character has motivations, and each motivation is tied to an emotion. And the main way you do this is with the words you use. That's why this fits so perfectly into your second draft after you've got that plot and story elements and action all worked out in your story. All right, so let's look at a few ways where you can create those conflicting emotions. All right, one is word pairs. You relate different sensory information to emotions. You can think of obvious similarities like touch and feel. All right, touch and feel. That's a sensory thing. And then attach an emotion. For example, see here. All right? Attach an emotion to what the character sees and an opposite emotion to what they hear. All right? And you can do it with opposites in your scene. And take a word pairing and create opposites. For example, kindness and cruelty, or cold and burn. And see what emotions your character develops from the opposites. And this is all craft stuff. This is words that you use, all right? You can also create microtension in dialogue and make your characters use conflicting emotional words in the dialogue. If one says like, the other character says hate. That's an extreme example, but you get the idea. You can also do it with character inner conflict. What two desires pull your character within that particular scene? He wants an answer, but won't sacrifice his dignity. Or she wants to open the door, but she won't function if she injures her shoulder. Just those little opposites, Get them in there. Get them in that scene. Another way is misinterpretation. A character responds to another character's action or dialogue, but they completely misinterpret the intent of the other character. And so you have the other character's intent and their emotions, and you have your character responding, but responding inappropriately. All right? And then also, you can foreshadow what's coming in your story just by using words. All right? You use words to describe an action that hints at negative consequences to come. And also you can use those words even in your narrative exposition. And you use the same idea of using contradictory words in your scene exposition, your description. For instance, your character aims for a result but misses the mark by some action that happens. All right. You can even use microtension with setting. You use negative words to describe the setting when your character feels good, or vice versa. So this is a little bit like foreshadowing, or like that very first example I gave of the picnic in the sunshine, but the words that you use are ominous. So really, it's all about words. It's all about words. And although you may add microtension in your first draft, you can really fine-tune those moments in the second draft. It's all about the words that you use. So while you're looking for stronger verbs and more specific nouns in your second draft, you just think also about emotions. You add emotional hooks to those words, and you'll create microtension that keeps readers reading. Use the words that reflect what your character's feeling. Use words that tell the reader what the reader feels, even if the character feelings don't match. So you're giving these little clues to your reader, all right? And what you're doing is you're getting your reader to ask, what now? This is happening, but I'm feeling this way, all right? This is definitely an exercise in improving your craft. You have your story, and adding microtension with words that get your reader emotionally involved takes your craft to a higher level. You got the story, but now you're crafting how the reader feels on each page. All right? You're not just telling the story, you're showing your reader what to feel on each page and spurring them to read more. All right, I hope that helps, and I hope that intrigues you enough to start thinking about the emotional words that you use in your story and how you can add those microtension moments in your scenes as you're editing your draft. I hope that helps a lot. Um, if you're struggling with your plot, you want to get that strong and organized, I encourage you to investigate Plotter. Um, it's an online tool to help you design your story. It's more than just plotting. You can create timelines. You can create character profiles for every single character in your story. And if you'd like to, there's a link in the description below. I encourage you to check it out. I find it extraordinarily helpful for that big picture before you get to the microtension. All right, thank you, and keep writing.